Hey guys, and welcome back to Let's Play Mass Effect! So in the last episode, Commander Shepard, along with Liara and Tali, they have started exploring Ilos, or rather we're trying to reach SAREN and the Conduit, and we just had a conversation with the VI that told us a lot about what SAREN, or rather the Reaper that's controlling SAREN, wants to achieve. Apparently the Citadel is like a mass relay that usually opens up a direct, I guess you could say a direct pathway for the Reapers to teleport over here and start their invasion, and we need to prevent that. So this is perhaps the last chat with the VI we're gonna have, I think. So we're gonna have to go back to the Mako. And we're gonna keep on chasing.
All their culture, all their advanced technology, and the Protheans were taken in by the Reapers just as we were. They failed.
Just like my people. But they also gave us a chance to save ourselves. We must hurry.
Yeah, and we're gonna head towards our Mako because the barrier should be down. Yeah, it is. And apparently somebody's up ahead. Well, no matter, I'll take them out either way. Okay. Apparently we gotta go this way. Ooh! What a rough driving. Oh no! Ooh! That was pretty rough. Oops. And I don't think there will be any more conversations, perhaps. At least not along the ride. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Hello. Is alive. Let it pass, and there you go. Oh, weird, okay. I guess there was a little glitch. And this way. Ooh. Crazy driving so far on my end. Oops. I'm stuck. I didn't think I would need this actually, but apparently I do. And this way. We're gonna sail smoothly, or well, slightly roughly, but smoothly roughly. Apparently someone is up here. Ow! And I'm heading right towards their oh wow, look at that one flying. There you go. Now, am I going the right way? Ah, yeah, I am. I'm making, oh, I can't move the map, interesting. Oh, I barely did. Okay, so I'm already heading towards the needed edge. So this way?
There, the conduit. It's incredible.
We don't have time to admire the view. We have to get through that relay, and these Geth aren't gonna make it easy on us.
has started their invasion. Or at least, well, not the invasion, but trying to take over the Citadel.
Activate the defenses! Seal the station! The arms aren't moving. Systems not responding. Abandon the Citadel! Evacuate the Council! Citadel Control! Citadel Control, do you copy?
Okay. Well, this is time, so we're gonna have to disregard all our opponents and just gun towards the conduit.
Hang on! Things are going to get a little rough.
And that's pretty much it. All you just have to do is go in. And woo! We just got teleported just like that in our Mako. Let's see who we're gonna crush.
Critical failures detected across all monitored systems. Please begin emergency evacuation procedure.
Okay, it's gonna be the Geth apparently. Okay, so after crushing the Geth, I guess it's just us heading towards whenever we can, and apparently it's just straightforward.
Critical failures detected across all monitored systems.
Okay, there's our enemies. Okay, we got them. You wanna chat?
The Presidium is experiencing severe system malfunctions across the entire level. All non-emergency personnel must evacuate immediately.
Give me a rundown of the damage.
We have lost all primary power to the level. Environmental controls are not responding. Class 3 fires are burning in sectors 2, 3, 6, and 7. Civilian casualties are high. I am also detecting numerous unauthorized synthetic life forms throughout the station. They are believed to be hostile. Please approach with caution.
What happened to the Council?
In accordance with standard emergency procedures, the Council has been evacuated to the Destiny Ascension.
What about Captain Anderson and Ambassador Udina? What happened to them?
I have no information on the status of specific individuals. Once the current crisis has been resolved, a complete accounting of casualties and survivors will begin.
Where's SAREN?
Former Spectre agent SAREN Arturius is nearing the vicinity of the Council chamber. A warrant has been issued for his arrest, though Citadel security is unable to respond at this time.
I figured.
Come on! We need to stop SAREN before it's too late!
Please begin emergency evacuation procedures.
It's fine, I'm just wasting my time by talking to her calmly like, hey, give us information. It's just amusing.
Emergency evacuation.
Just stopping just to chat and be like, yo, you know anything? I should be just rushing off towards whatever SAREN is, which I guess is maybe partially to assassinate the Council. Oh, there you are. Oh, he just killed the Keepers for no reason. Oh, there you go. He's trying to close the...
The Citadel's closing. They're sealing the station. Don't let the enemy ships inside the arms.
The Reaper just didn't care, he just went through it like it's a pile of rubbish. And unfortunately for us, he made it inside.
Mark the elevator! Suit up! We're going outside!
Oh, this is disorienting. So, which way we're supposed to go?
A spacewalk. Up the side of the Citadel? You certainly like to keep things interesting, Commander.
Don't worry about me, Shepard. Quarians are used to making spacewalks. It comes in handy if we have to make repairs on our ships.
A spacewalk.
Okay, never mind. She's just gonna repeat it. Yep, this is pretty linear. And there's gonna be a good amount of enemies too, as far as I remember. So we gotta be careful and survive. Yep, there's a Geth. There's two of them inside each other. Lovely. Apparently someone is still there.
Form up!
Okay, that one's gone.
Perimeter secured.
And I just went right into fire. Lovely.
Now it gets fun!
You missed, buddy. Oh, Krogan Warlord, lovely. Oh, there you go. He's flying. I can't even target him. Did he die? I can't even tell. I think the Krogan died. He just went up.
Perimeter clear.
Interesting. Ah, someone is here.
Over there.
Oh boy. Interesting. One down. I got your legs, and apparently that was enough to, like, kill you.
Think we got him, Commander.
It seems like partial dismemberment works as good as it does on organics, apparently. Okay, I'm going the right way. Wait,
On me!
just follow me. Don't get stuck. A good idea to save in case I do die. One down. Almost. Bad idea to come over here, buddy.
All targets eliminated.
Now it gets fun!
Oh boy, not you again. She's just going after me. Oh, there you are. He just flew into the stratosphere. Lovely that I took Liara with us. Oh no, there's a... Wait, did you just regenerate? Lovely, okay. Well, or maybe there were two of them.
All clear.
You know what? Unclear. She said all clear, I'm like, unclear. Wait, did I kill this thing?
Take cover.
I think I just did. Oh well. Yeah, I just killed the Citadel defense turret. My bad. I guess they're not gonna have a defense over here. I just helped the Geth to sabotage it. Well, there's the other turret I can actually activate. Just use Omnigel. Too bad I busted one of those things, but what you're supposed to do. And for some reason this one stopped working. So we just essentially have to survive this part. Oh, thank you for helping me. The ship is leaving, and it's busted pretty badly. Oh, hi. Not sure why you're there. He was kind of just standing around. Interesting. Oh boy, look at his little fingers. Creepy. Okay, how about I, wait. Wrong thing. He's floating. There you go, I can see you. And are you done? They seem to see someone else in here, so we should go. He got hacked. There you go. Thank you, Tali. I'll finish him off as well. Thank you, Tali. I forgot you can hack them. That's pretty neat. Very useful. Wow, you're humongous. Holy. I saw one little head. Oh, I remember this part. It can kill you. Yeah, you have to disable these things. Usually you can destroy them, but it takes a little while. There you go. But they really can kill you. That was close. Oh, now there's all of them firing. Ooh, that was rough. Okay, one down. Yeah, you can easily die on this part. An idea. That should boost up my damage. And what helps is the fact that it's too busy shooting at Liara, I think. But the girls are smart, somewhat. Oh wait, no, Liara is like not getting hit at all. Are there any more turrets? Not that I see, I think it's mostly Geth. Only a small head visible. That's funny. There you go.
Rally round.
Now, ladies, we're gonna have to move. Oops! I did not notice them over here. Hi. Yeah, shooting from the hip was a bad idea.
Clear.
Okay, good. We can continue. Okay, forward a little bit. I wonder if those were all the Geth in this section, but wow, we're very close to the finger. Oh, we can go down here. Oh, and our quest marker actually says we have to go here. Well, great. Let's go in, ladies. You're kind of lagging behind a little. Okay, now we're finally at the council chambers. Oh, lovely. There's a medical kit for us, so I get a Medigel. Lovely. That was a miss. There. Most of them gone, but there's someone else in here too. Where are you? I can see you. I can see the nervous red dot hiding. Can't really tell where. Ah, I see now. I see your leg. Lovely. Damn it, he hit. And I think that's about it. Damage-wise, it's not so bad, really. I can more or less stand my ground almost without any cover, but yeah. Ah, there you are. Activating your stuff. And for some reason I thought he was busy assassinating the council. Nah, it's the code he needs to send the signal.
I was afraid you wouldn't make it in time, Shepard.
In time for what?
The final confrontation. I think we both expected it would end like this. You've lost. You know that, don't you? In a few minutes, Sovereign will have full control of all the Citadel systems. The relay will open. The Reapers will return.
I've still got a few tricks up my sleeve.
You survived our encounter on Vermeer, but I've changed since then. Improved. Sovereign has upgraded me.
You look about the same, but God damn, I feel bad for you still. You're not even realizing anything that's going on with you, do you?
You let Sovereign implant you? Are you insane?
I suppose I should thank you, Shepard. After Vermeer, I couldn't stop thinking about what you said. About Sovereign manipulating me. About indoctrination. The doubts began to eat away at me. Sovereign sensed my hesitation. I was implanted to strengthen my resolve. Now my doubts are gone. I believe in Sovereign completely. I understand that the Reapers need organics. Join us, and Sovereign will find a place for you, too.
Sovereign's controlling you through your implants. Don't you see that?
The relationship is symbiotic. Organic and machine intertwined. A union of flesh and steel. The strengths of both, the weaknesses of neither. I am a vision of the future, Shepard. The evolution of all organic life. This is our destiny. Join Sovereign and experience a true rebirth.
Sovereign hasn't won yet. I can stop it from taking control of the station. Step aside and the invasion will never happen.
We can't stop it. Not forever. You saw the visions. You saw what happened to the Protheans. The Reapers are too powerful.
Some part of you must still realize this is wrong. You can fight this.
Maybe you're right. Maybe there is still a chance for... The implants. Sovereign is too strong. I'm sorry. It is too late for me.
It's not over yet. You can still redeem yourself.
Goodbye, Shepard. Thank you.
Now, I believe you would have had a fight over here if you did not manage to persuade him to essentially kill himself. Anyway, so we got some stuff to do over here.
Vigil's data file worked. I've got control of all systems.
Quick! Open the station's arms. Maybe the fleet can take Sovereign down before he regains control of the station.
See if you can open a communications channel.
The Destiny Ascension. Main drives offline. Kinetic barriers down 40%. The Council is on board. I repeat, the Council is on board.
Normandy to the Citadel. Normandy to the Citadel. Please tell me that's you, Commander.
I'm here, Joker.
We caught that distress call, Commander. I'm sitting here in the Andurra sector with the entire Arcturus fleet. We can save the Ascension. Just unlock the relays around the Citadel and we'll send the cavalry in.
Are you sure about this, Shepard? Human casualties will be very high if you send your fleet in now.
This is bigger than humanity. Sovereign is a threat to every organic species in the galaxy.
True. That's why you can't waste reinforcements trying to save the Council. You must hold them back until the Citadel arms open up and the human fleet can go after Sovereign.
What's the order, Commander? Come in now to save the Ascension, or hold back?
Oh, save the council, let the council die, or concentrate on SAREN? Oh, I don't know. To be honest, I'm more in agreement that we should concentrate on SAREN. And something tells me the council would, they're not gonna be any grateful for this. I don't know. What should I do? I can't let them die, though, as much as I don't like them. Who's gonna lead all these people and the nations? I mean, I understand they have their own, in each of their own countries and planets, they have their own, head of the government structures and stuff like that, but the council is the main body that will help to unite everyone. But to have them dead, that might demoralize the troops further. Oh, that's an issue. But we also have the issue with SAREN. Like, the death is out of question, but... Try to save the council, perhaps.
Opening the relays now, Joker. We need to save the Ascension no matter what the cost.
I hope the council appreciates this.
I hope so too. I'm not really sure whether
Alliance
they'll
ships
actually...
move in. Save the Destiny Ascension.
Yeah, I don't know whether they're actually gonna appreciate it or not,
Commander,
but...
we're picking up reinforcements. It's the Alliance. Thank the goddess.
Destiny Ascension, you are all clear. Repeat, you are all clear.
The Citadel's opening. All ships move in. Concentrate on SAREN.
So that would have happened either way, I guess.
Make sure he's dead.
He's dead.
You sure about that? SAREN might be, but the Reaper, I guess, is not done with him. Terrifying.
I am sovereign, and this station is mine.
Yep. Oh wait, not Unity. We need Oh, where are you? There you go. Thank you, ladies. I knew you're gonna help us out. Uh-oh. Where the hell is he? Oh, he's like a jumper. he got his get friends. I can see where SAREN is. Oh, there he is. Finish him off is probably for the best. No, SAREN. Okay, we're getting somewhere. And they start attacking the Reaper. Oh. What a death ray.
Sovereign's too strong. We have to pull back.
Negative. This is our only chance. Take that monster down no matter what the cost.
God damn it, you're to full health. Okay, I'm gonna make sure you're gonna die. If it's the last thing I do. Where is SAREN?
ECM is hot.
Okay. You jumper! Oh my gosh, stop jumping so much. He really likes jumping around. Apparently that kind of disabled him, but oh look at that creepy. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Apparently my assassination gets rid of the heat. Go. Ooh, and he just disintegrated. Ew. Oh, I know what happened. I guess SAREN must have transferred his entire conscience into SAREN.
Now's our chance.
And that's why the ship...
with everything we got.
And that's why the ship died and keeled over. Oh, okay, so we were the...
We're going in.
So we were the deciding factor for killing SAREN. But he's still moving. Maybe we just weakened him. Partially destroyed him. And now he's completely gone.
Go!
Well, that was an interesting fight. Tedious though, but interesting.
Captain Anderson, we found them! They're in here!
Take it easy. It's over. You're safe now. Where's the commander?
Ambassador, Captain, Commander Shepard, we have gathered here to recognize the enormous contributions of the Alliance forces in the war against SAREN and the Geth.
Many humans lost their lives in the battle to save the Citadel. Brave and courageous soldiers who willingly gave their lives so that we, the Council, might live.
There is no greater sacrifice, and we share your grief over the tragic loss of so many noble men and women.
The Council also owes you a great personal debt, Commander, one we can never repay. You saved not just our lives, but the lives of billions from SAREN and the Reapers.
Commander Shepard, your heroic and selfless actions serve as a symbol of everything humanity and the Alliance stand for.
And though we cannot bring back those valiant soldiers who gave their lives to save ours, we can honor their memories through our actions.
Humanity has shown it is ready to stand as a defender and protector of the galaxy. You have proved you are worthy to join our ranks and serve beside us on the Citadel Council.
Counselor, on behalf of humanity and the Alliance, we thank you for this prestigious honor and humbly accept.
We will need a list of potential candidates to fill humanity's seat on the Council.
Given all that has happened, I am sure your recommendation will carry a great deal of weight, Commander. Do you support any particular candidate?
Look, I'm not a politician, so it's not really up to me. I'm a commander. I do fighting, I do missions, not politics. That's your area of expertise, so you figure out amongst yourselves. I don't really care. But I can, just to mess with humanity, I can put Captain Anderson onto the Council, perhaps. He seems to be probably one of the more reasonable choices. So maybe I should put his name forward, actually.
We need someone with the courage to stand up for what he believes in. Someone like Captain Anderson.
Him? You must be joking. Anderson prefers to let his fists do the talking.
Only with you, Ambassador. Only with you.
Are you sure about this, Commander? The captain's a soldier, not a politician.
We've already got too many politicians on the Citadel. The captain would be perfect for this job.
I think it's an inspired choice. The Council would welcome him with open arms, should he accept.
I'm honored, Counselor. As humanity's representative, I'll do everything in my power to help the Council rebuild.
Sovereign's defeat marks the beginning of a new era for both humanity and the Council.
You do realize they'll return.
SAREN was only a vanguard. The Reaper fleet is still coming. Hundreds of ships, maybe thousands. And I'm gonna find some way to stop them.
Shepard's right. Humanity is ready to do its part. United with the rest of the Council, we have the strength to overcome any challenge. When the Reapers come, we must stand side by side. We must fight against them as one. And together, we will drive them back into dark space.
Okay, I don't think I regret any of my choices so far. I think it was a good idea to put Anderson, maybe. We'll see with time, I guess. There's still 2 other games to play, and your choices and stuff like that, they kind of carry over into the next games, but... I say kind of, and you'll see in the next games. And I guess this is it for Mass Effect. Yep, this is it. We've reached the end of the game, guys, and yeah, thank you for watching. So, like usually with every single video game, this is the time to do the analytics. My personal analysis of the game, what I think, although the soundtrack is a little loud, but I'm gonna keep it in here. Let me hide the mouse. Yeah, there we go, that looks better. I'm gonna do my best to talk, but anyway. So I did have to write out notes so that I don't get too lost, I guess, with some of the points that I think that the game either shines in or maybe lacks a little. Although now I'm thinking maybe I should talk later. It's gotten so loud now. But yeah, overall I like this game. I think it's a treat. And although it does have some little issues, I guess. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm just gonna have to talk over after the music. Actually, if this is copyrighted, I hope it's not. I just, yeah, I didn't think about this actually. Oh yeah, it actually might be copyrighted. We'll see. Even if it is, I guess I'll keep it on. I don't monetize my videos either way. I don't particularly care about that.
Wonder about you. Where will you be when this is through? If all goes as planned, will you redeem my life?
Okay, it finally got a little quieter. Hopefully I can now actually speak. So overall, I have a long list of things I want to discuss about the game. Specifically, first of all, I think the story is pretty solid, and I like the concept of it. Specifically, I like how they led you on to believe that SAREN was the mastermind, when in reality it was actually the Reapers and Sovereign who was in control all along. It also kind of brings a more, how to say this, it brings more into perspective the issue with the Geth especially, because at first, the game leads you on to believe that the Geth are cold, heartless machines essentially, and you don't really know what their goal is in this entire role until you meet, what was it? I think it was SAREN who said, or the Reapers, I forgot. I think it was SAREN, yeah, who said that the Geth, they worship the Sovereign, but he does not think of them much at all. And the fact, the fact of the Geth worshipping Sovereign as a deity, it kind of humanizes them. It gives a little more depth into who they are as, I don't know how to exactly phrase this, a species or, I guess beings maybe. I like this word a bit better. Beings. And it kind of goes a little at odds sometimes with Tally's perspective, for instance, and everyone else. But I did like the fact that they did try to maybe give them a little more culture, a little more depth to make to make everything seem not as simple as it first appears at a glance. And I really like that. I just wish that maybe side quests were a little more well thought out. With that specifically, most side quests were great, at least the ones in the cities. Anything that led you outside the cities, however, into the outer planets, everywhere else, they weren't quite as stellar, shall we say. They had a lot of the repetitive types of quests. It was either kill or fetch. There were some a little oddball here and there, like with what was it? That mission with the biotics, where you had to make sure the not the hostages, but the people who are kind of high, or not high, but I forgot what happened to them. They were just like catatonic people, and you had to make sure they didn't die in the process of you getting rid of the mercenaries or some such. I forget at this point. And the problem is that, it still ended up being a fetch and kill quest. There was not much depth to it. They didn't have any information whatsoever, almost. Like, for instance, even with Cerberus, when you go find their labs, okay, I see some things, but it's hard for me to understand exactly what's going on because they don't present you enough information. It's just so abstract. But apart from that, other ones like the quests about the, what was her name? You remember there was that quest where we had to go to the club and there was this Turian general and he was kind of spreading bad rumors about I forgot. It was like that Asari lady. Like, she wasn't, not a counselor, no, but I forgot. She had some kind of a fancy title. And one of the, God damn it, I forgot the names already. One of the Elcor ambassadors was feeling betrayed by her. Like, for example, that quest already was far more interesting because there were some choices you could have done, approaches that you could have done a little differently, depending on how and to whom you talk to. Or, well, not to whom, but really how you talk and stuff like that. You could totally help the general, you could totally throw him under the bus, you could, well, sort of, at least. I don't know, it really depends on your approach and things like that. Or the crazy fan, Connor, I think, was his name. I forgot already, but Because I'm terrible with names, that's why. Conrad! His name was Conrad, not Connor. Connor is from Detroit Become Human, that's a different game. But Conrad, that was also extremely memorable. The other quest about the sister at the club asking to help the other one who was at Cora's den, that one was also memorable. Or just the random meeting with the woman who lost her husband, but she's pregnant, and she was arguing with her husband's brother, her deceased husband's brother, regarding on what to do with the baby because of some health complicated issues. Even that tiny encounter was more memorable than most of the planet scavenging. Because it offered far more depth into the world, far more intricacies. It wasn't just a typical fetch and kill quest through a lot of the many copy-pasted dungeons. And that's another issue, is that they used a lot of copy-pasted dungeons. And a lot of, procedurally generated maps for each planet that was explorable, or rather landable. And it's such a waste that they did it this way, because I really like how they designed the atmosphere of each planet. They had really great work with lighting, for instance, and colors and the combinations of both and textures. So why would you waste all of that on procedurally generated levels and maps? It would have been so much more better, so much more organic if, okay, let's just say you want to use the procedurally generated maps, but you could have made it so much better, so much more unique and interesting if you even just designed the quests on those planets with a little more depth, and the dungeons too. Generally, my point is that you need to have more handcrafted things. Because so far, the only handcrafted things, at least that I know of, is the Citadel, Noveria, Pharos, and Vermeer. Even the DLC map, it was somewhat handcrafted, but except maybe like the last big area with a dungeon, but it still ended up being like your typical kill quest almost. Although it was far more memorable as well than the rest of the planetary excavations. Primarily because they had more dynamic interactions, information gathering. At least there was far more information to be had than on any other planetary quests. And those were like the only exceptions that I do remember. And and also the beginning map too. When you first start the game, when you go to Eden Prime, yeah, that one too was memorable because the location was made by hand. It wasn't just procedurally generated with some random peaks of mountains and stuff like that. I don't know, but it's just, to me, it feels like a waste of some great potential with visual and environmental design that could have told a lot of even just like a different story or atmosphere. Because a lot of these planets, I feel why maybe some people might want to explore these is because how do you imagine a different world might be that's not quite like Earth? How would it look like? What kind of flora? What kind of fauna? How would the mountains be structured? How would it look like from into the sky if you had different planets very close to each other, or maybe different moons or different conditions, you know? And they tried to do that, but like everything on the ground level kind of collided with that. It didn't mold together, you know, it didn't melt with each other and work together. At least that's what I think. It's you might not agree, that's fine. Each person has their own opinion. And also, in terms of quests, with the main storyline, I guess there were some minor hiccups, very, very minor hiccups, except maybe the part with the genophage. That one I still think is a little somewhat illogical. Although I do realize now that I've, written out my conclusions that it's somewhat logical because they are in a hurry to get to, get the lab destroyed and everything else. But I still feel like the you know, you don't need every single research note. You just need the specific formula for curing the genophage, and then you could just regulate, you know, how far do you not how far, sorry, how frequently do you need the Krogans to reproduce and stuff like that. You know, you could just maybe like reformulate it so that they don't rapidly populate, but to make sure that it's actually, you know, within the line of reasonable. I don't know if I'm making sense or not, but that would have avoided a lot of issues that they're experiencing right now. They decide that, oh, we're just gonna... I understand that back then they probably felt very urgent that, you know, we should definitely just eliminate any possibilities of Krogans reproducing at a quicker pace. So they just, instead of controlling it, they just decided to almost completely nullify it. Like, it's like going from one extremity to the other, you know what I mean? And with this, it could have just found a middle ground, and everyone would have been happy. The Krogans would have been happy. The rest of the world would have been happy. I just don't understand what the issue was for that specific quest. Or rather, that part of the quest of the main story. My bad. But everything else was, like, it was fairly minor. You know, some little questions, like questions of logic specifically, but they were doable. It's mostly just a Krogan thing that kind of stood out to me the most. I do like the fact that they allowed you to try to persuade SAREN, actually, at the end of the storyline. It just felt so powerful to see him finally sort of like battling with the indoctrinated, with just the indoctrination and Sovereign. Except Sovereign, because of the implants, I assume he was able to control just the technological side that was in the dead body of SAREN. And that is extremely morbid, my god. It just felt, it looked really terrifying. Just to see him jumping around, crawling through. Even the Geth, the crawling Geth, they do make me feel queasy as well, because like, it's just so unnerving to see it. I don't know. Like, I do think the game's design of the world itself, each of the cultures, each of the races, even the animations for each of the races, they were really spot on, I think. Even as alien as Turians and Solarians, even the Batarians too. Even they, like, all of their designs, they just worked with each other. Or, well, not with each other, but, you know what I mean. They felt like believable entities you can actually meet, probably in real life, who would actually function biologically in the physical realm. Even the Elcor too, or the Volus even, like, although they're always in the suit. The only ones I'm a little unsure about are the Hanar. Like, I don't understand the physics of how they're able to float. Like, do they use biotics or something? Or that's like the only questionable thing I have is like the Hanar, but it's kind of minor. I don't really mind it as much. But it's just, I really love like the concept of the world and how each of the cultures are structured, you know, what are the social codexes of each people? What are their societal structures, cultural, etc., everything. Even the Asari were fairly interesting, though it is an unusual concept with them having more of a different kind of way to reproduce, which is kind of like less physical, more mental. And, you know, it would essentially produce Asari offspring if they do mate with another species or entities, beings. But it still was a pretty fun and pretty cool concept, actually. Or like the Turians and their sort of like militaristic culture, but also this almost in a sense of honor and duty towards their society, towards their people. Like, there's just so many cool, great things. Even the Krogan. But with the Krogan, it's a bit less, because the only ones we have is Rex. but he's not the representation of his entire species. That's an issue. The other Krogans we met, they were primarily the cutthroat mercenary types, so there's not much to judge from here. Those are the only types of Krogans we met. The Geth were interesting as well, as a race of sentient robots, essentially. And their design is a little finicky, I guess. Well, not finicky, it's just unusual, because I know they're comprised of machines, but it feels like it's like machine and organic when you look at them and their bodies and all the details that you can't see and notice. And if you look even at SAREN, it felt like he got some implants from a Geth. Like he had an arm that kind of looked like it belonged on a Geth. Then then a cybernetic that molds Turian biology with just technology. Yeah, so that was also pretty amazing, pretty cool. Let me see. Oh, okay. So out of everything else though from the game, I like the fact that they allow you so much freedom with weapons and your skills and class. Because it really allows you, it still gives you a lot of room to determine how you want to play. I mean, unless you're going into like pure biotic or something like that. In my case, I was a sniper, but I had some tech skills that helped out too. Although I never really used them as much because I primarily just like to snipe them in this game. I do like the idea of having the tactical menu to help you pause and think of how and where you want to position things. If you do like micromanaging your companions, for instance, I sometimes do it in situations where I deem it more advantageous to send them first, and I back them up from behind because I'm a sniper. I know I'll be very efficient at it than they will. But yeah, I like that a lot. And I like the fact that unlike the other games, in this one they do not take away your freedom to use other weapons if you choose to do so. So I still had my shotgun, I still had my assault rifle if I wanted them, stuff like that. In the other games, as far as I know, they do try to limit your weapon usage. In the third game, maybe it's done a little better because they tried to make it a little, if I remember, I think it was weight-based, where you still could have a diverse amount of weapons as long as you managed your weight properly and stuff like that. Something along the lines of that. But I still appreciate more the freedom to have all the weapons I want and to be able to switch around. It's just more fun that way. And one thing that I usually like games to be is also fun. Of course, it also would make sense to make sure you construct a proper gameplay, a proper mechanic for playing at the different styles. Of course, I also agree with that. But sometimes I felt like the two Mass Effects after this one, I felt like they were too limiting, especially because, as far as I do know, they introduce ammo into the game. Even though, to me personally, it doesn't make sense with the concept for this one. And here they have a weapon heat. And the other two, it's a bit different because of the ammo. But still, lore-wise, I don't think they were explained all that well, or whether the explanation even makes sense to me personally. But that's just my opinion. But anyway, so I like that a lot. And having the freedom to customize so many skills, the weapon choices and stuff like that, that also allowed you to really get the person and the class fleshed out the way you want it to be. And I loved the fact that you could put any kind of mods into your weapons, into your armor. You could make some really nice effects, some really nice customization with that. I love it personally. I just love this amount of freedom. Now, moving on from there, let's see, what else did I had? Oh, right, okay, so I also liked the companions in this game. I do wish that they would have given more time to the companions, because I feel like they kind of over-concentrated on Caden and, what's her name? Ashley. On Caden and Ashley more than your foreign companions, should I say it this way? I felt like they were overall much better in terms of their personalities and everything else. Caden and Ashley aren't bad, but the reason why I'm a little on the fence with them is primarily because of the other two games. I'm more biased because of those two games. And also because I don't exactly per se like what the two games after this one, what they did to Caden and Ashley. I'm not gonna say what they did, but it's just my personal feeling. We'll find out eventually either way. Unless you played this game, then you know perfectly well what I'm talking about. But yeah, I do wish, for example, you know, that we had more interactions as well with Rex and others. Tally too. I feel like with her, they came a little too quickly and then disappeared off the face of the planet. And with Garrus as well, like, just generally, I feel like more interactions with them. I also feel like maybe there should have been more interactions with others like Joker, you know, Navigator Presley, because he seems to be interactable, and Dr. Chuck was. Also considering the other two games, because they do add a little more interaction with those, well, with some of those people than they do in this one. But overall, I do like how they, like what kind of personalities the companions have. They're pretty fun to hang around. They're pretty fun to talk to. Even if you may not have the same viewpoints, you can respect them. And that's for me is a key point, that I can respect them, and I do. Now, I did point it out before that I like the atmosphere, but I think I also forgot to mention about the soundtracks. I like the soundtracks. I do wish that maybe it had a little more diversity or variety, because you tend to hear the same tracks over and over and over again, and it kind of loses its impact. Especially when you consider certain epic scenes in the main storyline, especially. For instance, when we're on Vermeer, right? We met the Salarians and we're going off into the mission to infiltrate the laboratory, right? On the way to the entrance, you get the typical soundtrack that's a little too active, but it doesn't convey the pressure, the sort of like how much is at stake at that point. How much is at the line? It's just at some moments like these, I feel like it should have been maybe a little bit of a different track that would have fitted more with the atmosphere. But other than that, I do like a lot of these. My favorite one is the one that you hear when we were in Ilos, this haunting, melancholic, but also mysterious and in a way a little adventurous and hopeful soundtrack. I wouldn't say it feels quite like magical, but it certainly evokes a sense of wonder. And that's what I like about some of the soundtracks in Mass Effect, is that they're atmospheric. At least when they're being used correctly, in my opinion. Sometimes you would hear a soundtrack that didn't exactly make sense. There were some locations that used the haunting, or rather the soundtrack that I personally associated with like a horror themed game. I think it was like the soft sounding, they're not like soft sounding electronic sounds, whatever it was. I can't say that they were like bells or anything, but you hear that when you go to the Cerberus labs, right? And sometimes you hear that soundtrack at some locations that are not really terrifying at all, but they have it used over there for some reason. Which to me was like a little bit of a weird choice, but okay. But yeah, it's just the fact that sometimes this repetitiveness, or rather, not quite the proper usage, it just kills off sometimes the atmosphere or the impact of the track itself. Let's see, and I think my last point that I wanted to cover for this game is actually the dialogue system. because I have a little bit of an issue with it. First of all, it's very reminiscent of Fallout 4's dialogue system, because it's actually pretty much the same, where the choices you pick, right, they don't exactly match what your person says. With Mass Effect, though, the difference between Fallout 4 and Mass Effect is that in Mass Effect 1 and maybe 2 and 3 as well, they do try to match the tone to kind of what the Shepard will say. Like, the words may not match, but the tone somewhat matches. And I do say somewhat because there were moments where it did not, where it felt like you were clicking on Shepard's inner thoughts, but you still didn't know what the hell she's gonna say. In Fallout 4, it's a little worse, but because it's just basically yes, maybe yes, and sarcastic. I think that's an apt description. And maybe, very rarely, a no. But anyway, yeah, in Mass Effect, it's much better than Fallout 4 in that regard. You kind of get what you want, but you also partially don't, because you're kind of restricted to the Paragon versus Renegade thing. I do wish they would have implemented differently, because if you want to have persuasion, you have to be leveling up Paragon, and Paragon means you gotta always pick the top right dialogue. If you want to be intimidating and go the Renegade, well, intimidation, aka you have to level up Renegade. And sometimes I feel like that's not really a proper way to associate, I think, because some people who might be morally correct, right, or morally just, like a Paragon person, I guess, essentially, or rather, let's say Paragon type, you could still implement same tactics of intimidation and deception. It just depends on how you're using it, I guess. And for what circumstances and for what purpose. And that's why I think Paragon and Renegade systems should have been implemented differently in that regard. Like, it's more like the person's inner moral compass. It does, occasionally reflect on your decisions, or rather, it does reflect on your decisions, but it shouldn't be tied to your persuasion or intimidation skill, you know what I mean? It should be more tied to actual major decisions that you make in the game. Your choices on whether you want to, let's say, kill a civilian, right? Or attempt to save the civilians for the sake of the mission, or not for the sake of the mission, whichever it was, right? That's what I think is more proper. And I feel like the Paragon versus Renegade should have really been only delegated to the major decision points of side quests or the main story, and not at the casual dialogue conversation, maybe. Of course, if you're gonna pick something like, I'm gonna smash your face in, of course you're gonna get Renegade points, use your common sense for that, but you can still know what I mean, right? You can still not tie in the Paragon Renegade, but still get a different way to get an information source, right? At least that's what I think. I just feel like it needed a little bit of a different direction than what it was here. Maybe not even be based on Paragon versus Renegade. Maybe make it more personality based as opposed to moral based, and then choose your morals based on what decision you make. I kind of, in that regard, actually, I kind of liked a little Elix better with their cold meter, in a sense that your game's main story outcome becomes predetermined based on where your cold is. In Elex, you probably don't even know that game, but it's like a blend between sci-fi and fantasy together. It works actually pretty well. But anyway, that's not the point. The point is, they had the cold meter, which basically signified how empathetic you were. When you're at very low cold levels, aka equivalent to a machine, you're more logical and you have like no empathy whatsoever. You're not even capable of making decisions that are based on your feelings. You know what I mean? You had the neutral levels, and then you had very empathetic, which means you might be a little too emotional, right? So, and I feel like maybe would have been something more like that appropriate for Mass Effect. And in that game, in Alex, not every dialogue option was raising or lowering your cold meter, but there were some that did, depending on whether you gave a more heartless option or more of a sympathetic one. And maybe that's exactly what it should have been in here. And the decision-making sometimes were related to the cold level, but oftentimes they were not. You still had more freedom to pick which one you wanted, until you locked yourself out of that decision by raising one to higher as opposed to the other. I don't know, but I just felt like it needed a little more fine-tuning. Also because of the Renegade versus Paragon decision-making, I feel like it's also felt like it should have been different, because essentially you only had 3 options, and there's only one option per each tier. So there was only one per Renegade, one per Paragon, and some neutral option that went into neither territory. I felt like maybe they should have had a different structure for the dialogue system in general, like have a more lengthier list of things you could do. But that's just my opinion. And that way it also would have avoided issues where, because of the strict Paragon versus Renegade, and the fact that they're always at the, in the same spots, right? Paragon is always at the top right, Renegade bottom right, and sometimes bottom left, and Paragon upper left. But anyway, so because of these specific positions, oftentimes you didn't even have to think what you're gonna click. And for me, that's usually is an issue where I know how I'm gonna play my character, mostly Paragon, and because I want to have persuasion skill tree. And it ended up me not really thinking about what in the world I was clicking on. And for some reason, for me personally, it makes me forget if I clicked on certain options already, like during the investigation, for instance. I don't know why, it's just something about the dialogue system that causes this reaction for me. And I'm sorry if I did repeat any dialogue systems throughout my playthrough. It's just something that happens between me and this game. Interesting psychological phenomena, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, guys, I think this was it so far about the game. I do like the storyline. I more or less like the game. I just don't enjoy the planetary excavation. The second game is much better structure-wise and quest-wise, actually. So that will be an interesting one for you guys to see as well, in what kind of shenanigans we're gonna get ourselves into. Of course, it does some things a little worse, but we're gonna get to it. Don't worry. Anyway, so thank you for watching. I do hope you enjoyed this playthrough. I also do ask you to play the game yourself as well, because it does give you a different experience as opposed to watching me play the game. And my comments will affect your perception of the game as well, by the way, and how you experience it when you watch it. I know that because I watched a little of some playthroughs before I actually got into Mass Effect myself. And it was a completely different experience, different perception of the characters, the story, everything really, even the combat system. That especially, the gameplay aspect, you don't feel it when you watch someone else play it, When you're doing it yourself, when you are the pilot of your character, that's it just gives you different perception, different feelings, different motivations, and it also makes you react differently as opposed to when someone else plays it. And you sometimes make different decisions as opposed to when you watch someone else play it. And you might find yourself disagreeing with whoever played the game too, because you find maybe more information, or you figure out something that maybe the one who made the Let's Play did not. So that's why I ask you to actually, buying the game yourself, playing it yourself. I do think at least it's worthwhile, even if you're maybe not the big fan of planetary excavation and the storyline, even for that alone, I would say go for it, really. And if you love world building, go for it as well. This game is pretty great at that, actually. In fact, for some reason, the world building kind of become stagnant in the later games, unfortunately. At least that's what I think. But yeah, we'll discuss that when the time comes. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in any other Let's Plays. Bye bye!